and it's got me thinking about goals, whether it's getting healthier, staying more connected, or just making life a little easier. So I'm sharing a roundup of some of the tech that has changed my life and made it easier to achieve my goals. And I'm kicking it off first with today's video sponsor, Yeasel. I've been introducing movement and workouts back into my life now that my baby is sleeping better and my schedule feels a lot less chaotic. I looked into a number of different exercise bikes, and Peloton is obviously the exercise bike, but I didn't want to spend that much on a bike and then also a subscription to use the bike, on top of other classes that I'm taking outside of just cycling, like yoga. So thankfully, that's where this bike from Yeasel saved me from that cost. Yeasel is so kindly partnering with me on this portion of the video because it's been an important piece of smart tech that is helping me accomplish the goals I've set for myself to take care of and move my body so much more. Now, of course, I can cast the cycling workouts that are in the Yeasel app, but if I wanted, I can also cast the content from Peloton or any YouTube video. One thing that is always in the background while I'm working is court cases or court document readings. Maybe that's a little bit weird, but it does make me really productive. And now I can watch those while I cycle on my Yeasel bike. But you're not limited to just YouTube. You can cast Netflix shows, Hulu, any of your favorite movies or TV shows. When I'm ready for off of the bike workouts, I can actually rotate the screen. The screen is 1080 FHD that has decent sound quality with the 4 speakers and 2 subwoofers, and the 360-degree rotation makes it easy to rotate the screen where I can see it while I am moving and exercising my body. I feel like the Yeasel G1M Plus bike has been providing me and my husband so much value, especially because it is incredibly affordable at only $499. But you can get it even cheaper than that with my discount code Kirsten100 for $100 off, making it only $399. While it's not the Peloton, it is a fraction of the cost. The aesthetics are very similar. I'm not locked into a subscription to use the best features of the bike, and it has a small footprint here in my dining room. So if you're looking for an extremely affordable bike, be sure to check out the Yeasel G1M Plus bike. One of the most life-changing pieces of tech for me has actually been the Oura Ring, especially in combination with the app Natural Cycles. And Natural Cycles is an app that doesn't necessarily require the Oura Ring, but it's the first and I believe the only FDA-approved app for birth control. It not only helped me plan the birth of my rainbow baby, my first Earthside baby, but it helped me prevent pregnancy before I was ready to start a family, and is helping me continue to prevent before we decide to grow again. That itself is incredible without the use of hormonal birth control. But this ring and Natural Cycles have also taught me a lot more about my body, the signal that your body gives off, especially those subtle signals when you're stressed, when you're coming down with something before you even fully have any sick symptoms, learning when you'll be most productive or most energetic at different points during the day, how ready you are to tackle the day, and just so much more just by the data that it collects, that it plots and compares to its algorithm, which is shaped by your own personal contexts and the research that they put into their apps. Just the sheer amount of data and trends that you can learn about yourself is just incredible, and honestly even overwhelming. I plan on covering a full review and deep dive into the Oura Ring, so I won't go too crazy here in this video, but it has been absolutely life-changing in the best way. And I know that there are other competitor rings popping up on the market now, but because of its connections with Natural Cycles, I find that the Oura Ring is the one ring for me. My life has changed dramatically with this ring. It's definitely more important than my phone at this point because it has allowed me to take charge of my own health and of my own fertility in a very technical and feature-rich way. Apple Watch is very much the same in that regard. Natural Cycles first partnered with Oura Ring, so I hopped onto the Oura Ring with that partnership and just prefer wearing a ring to bed, which is needed to be able to track my temperature that Natural Cycles needs for my body algorithm. But the Apple Watch can now do the same thing when they launched the Series 9 over a year ago now. But even before those family planning updates and the ability to track the basal body temperature, Apple Watch has been inspiring a ton of people to stand up, to get moving, to keep an eye on their vitals, and not just those individual measurements for your vitals, but the overall trends and how it compares to last week and last month and the last 5 years to see where your health is progressing. Apple is making huge movements in the health sphere with fall and crash detection, hearing loss, the ability now to use AirPods as hearing aids and devices. So I think we will continue to see the growth of health in our everyday devices like our rings, our watches, our headphones. It is obviously great for tracking workouts, seeing your messages on the go and all of that. But again, I do have the Oura Ring and there is some decent overlap between the two. I do tend to use my Apple Watch more like a regular watch than a smartwatch, but the one thing that Apple Watch does really well that I haven't had much success with the Oura Ring or with other workout trackers is the lap swim. Apple Watch is so incredibly handy and accurate when it comes to giving my split times, the laps I swam, my times. It was so magnificent and I would have loved to have that in high school when I was swimming. Would I have been able to wear the Apple Watch in my meets? No, but it would have been great for timing my laps and seeing my progress over time when preparing for those meets. I used this feature a decent bit when I was in my last trimester. I was swimming laps almost every morning and it was great having that tracked in my Apple Watch when I remembered to start the workout, of course. Speaking of the last trimester, I got my Ray-Ban Meta glasses when I was close to meeting our baby, and I got them to capture memories easier and from unique points of view. See, before I had my baby, I wanted to make a goal to capture more personal memories. Since my job is to film and capture content and share what I'm learning, what I'm discovering, what I know, I found myself picking up the camera less to capture my life outside of work, which is actually pretty depressing. With having our first baby, I knew I didn't want to miss a single moment, and so it was those last few weeks I spent a lot of time online and in the Best Buy store trying to figure out how I can easily capture memories without always being tied to my phone. Do I still take an absurd amount of photos and videos of my baby on my phone? Of course. But I was ideally looking for something more hands-free because as a parent, you really need all of the hands that you can get. Enter Insta360 Go 3S. I got this to start because I liked how you can do different setups with it. It's paired with an app that gives you shot and filming advice. It seemed like a decent camera and a good option for capturing those memories. But again, it still felt more like a content creation device for KDigitalStudio rather than a family memory capture device because I still had quite a bit to set up and figure out. I had to clip it on me, on a hat. I just had to figure out some way to incorporate it and hope that my baby or whatever it is that I want is in the shot. And so I found myself not really using it. My husband, on the other hand, got the Ray-Ban Meta glasses after checking them out in the store. He was super impressed with them, couldn't stop thinking about them, and then ordered them at home later that day. And then it took me a few weeks before jumping on that wagon as well. And it's so much easier and feels much more natural to capture memories that way. And the video and picture quality is actually really amazing for what it is. And that's the main reason why I got them. But it does have a built-in voice assistant. You can ask Meta questions, ask Meta to describe or explain what you're even looking at. And I just think the technology here is pretty wild. I think they are so well done and can very well be life-changing for a lot of people. I'm starting to see much more competition in this realm of wearable tech, so I think they'll only get better and better from here. I wanted to close out the video with one more important piece of tech for me, and possibly many of you if you're watching this video, and that's the iPad. Now, I know some people have their phone and their computer, and they really don't need much more than that. They have no use for an additional screen, but the iPad has been one of, if not the most life-changing device for me. I first started out using the iPad 6th generation to take notes in college, which was very, very, very new at the time. It saved me so much time, so much paper, and a lot of headache as a chemistry major who had to draw out these massively long mechanisms. and I really felt like it made me more productive and actually excited to study. But it also opened up a whole new realm of new creative skills that I discovered and helped pioneer the digital planning space. I learned illustration and design skills through Procreate and built an entire business, an entire YouTube channel, my whole creator economy around the iPad, around doing creative things with the iPad to accomplish goals or to just have some fun. I would be in a very, very different place in my life if I decided not to purchase an iPad back when I was in college, and I really do like where I am now. There's so much that you can do and create with an iPad, but I encourage you to just take a look around your house, around your workspace, at any piece of tech that you might have laying around. Maybe it's not necessarily an iPad, but think about creative or unique ways that you can use it to find a solution to a problem that you're constantly facing or a problem that others are facing. And I promise you it will change your life. And that's all I have for you in this video. Don't forget to check out Yeasel, links for all of that down below in the description. And let me know if there's tech that I didn't mention that has absolutely changed your life. If you want to see more in-depth how I'm using my iPad or the other tech that I mentioned in this video, be sure to stick around and subscribe. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you around on the internet very soon. Bye!